I can guarantee you that this is the last video that you'll ever need on how to lose belly fat and get a toned stomach. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what to do in terms of diet and exercise to lose belly fat and get a toned stomach for good. And make sure to watch this video from beginning to end, because I can guarantee you that this is the last video that you'll ever need on how to lose belly fat and get a toned stomach. And I really do stand by those words, because if you were to do a quick Google or YouTube search, your screen would be littered with all of these results like this. Which I do also want to bring up that this isn't inherently these people's faults, because we tend to fall prey for this kind of stuff. We fall prey to the quick fixes. But I do understand the real reason why you're here. You're sick of all of the BS information that's out there. You want someone who's going to give it to you straight, give you honest, accurate, and simple to understand information that's going to help you lose that belly fat once and for all. The only thing I ask of you is that you watch this entire video from beginning to end, because I don't want you to miss any crucial information and have you fall prey to all of those quick fix or clickbait things again. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, although the process of losing belly fat is very simple in itself, but it isn't as simple as saying do this one exercise or drink this one drink. It still has a certain level of complexity to it. So in this video, we are going to break it down into 3 components that you need to address if you want to lose belly fat and get a toned stomach. These 3 things are going to be your mindset, your nutrition, and your training. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at each of these things, starting with mindset. And the main reason why I have put this as the first thing we need to talk about is because your mindset is the most important thing in your fitness journey. Because quite frankly, if you don't have the right mindset in place, nothing else is going to matter and nothing else is going to work. There isn't a single nutrition or training plan on the planet that's going to help you unless you have the right mindset in place to actually follow through and stay consistent with your plan. And now you might be wondering, Austin, what the hell do you mean by that? I can't just use my brain power and will away my belly fat.
Go away! Go away!
And here's what I mean by that. The first thing we need to talk about with your mindset around losing belly fat is understanding that the scale is not the end-all be-all. And look, I'm not telling you to go grab your scale out of the bathroom and chuck it into the dumpster. The scale is still a great tool to measure progress, but it shouldn't be the only thing you look at or rely on. And it can be so hard on the head when you only use the scale because you're so caught up on losing belly fat and thinking that when you lose weight, that is the equivalent of losing belly fat. And a common situation I see is that when you lose weight and the scale goes down, you celebrate success.
Oh, those are the new ones?
Yes! 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 Hey, yeah!
But when you gain weight and the scale goes up, you start to wonder what you're doing wrong. If this sounds familiar to you, firstly, I want you to
Stop that shit, man!
because I can guarantee you that if you're watching this video right now, you want to lose fat, not just weight. We need to keep in mind that most of the weight that you lose and gain on a daily basis is not fat. Your body is constantly losing and gaining body weight from a variety of things in your body, such as water. Again, this doesn't mean that you need to chuck your scale into the dumpster, but this shouldn't be the only measure of progress you rely on, and it sure as hell should not be the thing that gauges how well your day is going. Because let's dig deep and be really fucking honest with ourselves here. You don't really care about what the number in the scale says. You might say or think that you do, but deep down, it's not about that number at all. It's really more about how sexy you thought you were at that body weight or how you felt at a certain body weight. So then you start to associate these feelings with that number. But really, that number in the scale and how sexy or good you feel about yourself are not the same thing.
Just a number.
And firstly, we'll use myself as an example. I'm going to throw up a side-by-side picture of myself at 2 different points in time. If I were to ask you, how much do I weigh in each of these photos? What would your answer be? I'll give you a second. You would probably say you're definitely heavier on the left. Your muscles look so visible and defined on the right. But what if I told you I weighed around the same in both pictures? You're probably like, no fucking way. And to that I say yes way, and here's why. This is because of something called body recomposition, which is just a fancy way of saying building muscle and losing fat at the same time. This is exactly why you can step on the scale and the number hasn't changed much at all. Meanwhile, your clothes are fitting better, your measurements are going down, and your physique looks completely different in the mirror. And with that said, I do want to give a quick shout out to one of my online coaching clients, Christina. Not only was she able to lose that belly fat that she thought was stubborn and get a toned stomach, but she showed up to every single workout and completely fucking crushed it. She has worked extremely hard day in and day out, and obviously the results show for themselves. But here's the best kicker about this story. She is weighing 3 pounds heavier in the after photo on the right. Because again, I want to drive home the point that the scale does not tell the whole story. The answer to losing belly fat and getting a toned stomach is not going to be found on the scale. Again, the thing is, you don't really care about the number on the scale. You care about how you look in the mirror and how you feel about your body. And as we've clearly seen with photo evidence of both myself and one of my clients, the scale isn't necessarily lying like a lot of people like to say.
It's the bathroom scale is lying again.
But it doesn't tell the whole story. You're gonna have a much better idea of belly fat loss when you take measurements and take progress pictures. Again, this doesn't mean that the scale is evil and that you should throw it out the window. In fact, I still do encourage you to weigh yourself every day, just like I still do with my clients. And the main reason for this is because it's literally all data, nothing to attach your emotions to, just a number on a piece of plastic that you log down and have no feelings about whatsoever.
Just a number.
And the reason why I spent so much time talking about this is because I want to drill this point into your head, and I need you to understand this because this is the single most important point. Yes, even more important than the nutrition and training points. Because unless you break free from letting the scale run your life and emotions and live in your head rent-free, you're not going to be able to appreciate any of the progress that you make. So stop only relying on the scale and make sure to take measurements every 2 weeks and progress pictures every 4 weeks along with that. Are we clear? Good, let's move on. Alright, now let's talk nutrition. And I know this might sound counterintuitive, but as we've seen with both my clients and myself, the answer isn't to just lose fat, but also to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, also known as body recomposition, as mentioned earlier. With that said, here are 2 common scenarios that most people I've worked with fall into. Number 1 is going to be if you are skinny fat. If you happen to be in a similar situation with my client pictured earlier or myself, that you are skinny fat where you don't necessarily have a lot of weight to lose, but you still have a visible amount of fat on your midsection, then this is your exact nutrition plan. You are going to eat around maintenance calories, which is the amount of calories it takes to maintain your current body weight. Then you're going to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you're going to make sure that you are following a real strength training program, which will be later defined in this video. Seriously, that's the plan. It's that simple. But here's the most important part. You need to actually stick to that plan for at least 85 to 90% consistency for the next 3+ months. All right, so now that we know what to do, here's how to do it. First up, if you don't already know your maintenance calories, here's my free calorie calculator. It's gonna be in the link in the description below. Use the calculator and pick the maintain your weight option. Secondly, for the protein, it's about as simple as it sounds. If you weigh 160 pounds, aim for 160 grams of protein. Now at this point, you're probably wondering this one question, which I totally understand. But wait, I thought that if I wanted to lose fat, then I should be eating on a calorie deficit, right? Yes, this is still true. The laws of thermodynamics have not changed yet. Maybe they will in the next 200 to 300 years when you're watching this video, but as of right now, in this point in time, they have not changed.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
But let's go ahead and answer your question in further detail. So when you eat at around maintenance calories, eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and follow a real strength training program, this is what will happen. When your focus is on maximizing adding lean muscle, you are going to increase your lean body mass, which will indirectly lower your body fat percentage and improve your body composition. Many people only think about body fat percentage as gaining and losing body fat, but it's more so a comparison of the amount of lean body mass you have versus fat body mass. And I can confidently say that most people who have the skinny fat look, it's because they don't have enough lean muscle mass. And this leads people down to doing the number 1 mistake that I see all the time. It's that they perpetually try to stay in a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat, which again does help you lose body fat, but it doesn't solve the inherent problem of why you don't have the look that you want, and that's because you don't have enough muscle mass. Secondly, when your main focus is on building lean muscle mass, you actually increase your metabolism. Think about it. What burns more calories and is more active on your body, a pound of fat or a pound of muscle? When you start off at maintenance, you'll eventually slip into a deficit as you build up that muscle mass and as it improves and increases your metabolism. And at this point, you're probably thinking, well, why not just start with a deficit to begin with? Because if we were to start off in a deficit, then we won't have as much of a chance to optimize building lean muscle. which means that we'll lose out on all of the benefits of having more muscle mass, as we've mentioned earlier. So quit trying to constantly diet your way into having a lean and defined physique, because it ain't gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Situation number 2, this is if you have a lot of body fat to lose. And no, I'm not talking about the little bit of pudge in your stomach. I'm talking about if you have at least 20 plus pounds of fat to lose. In this case, we are going to want to get into an actual calorie deficit. However, again, we don't want to get too much into a calorie deficit because we don't want to take away too much from the muscle building process. We still want to ensure that your body has enough calories to build lean muscle so that you can end up looking the way that you want to look. So if this is your situation, again, use the free calculator in the description below and make sure to follow the lose half a pound per week option. But I do want to add that if you have 40 plus pounds to lose, you can go ahead and use the lose 1 pound per week option. That's it for calories. For protein, it's going to be generally the same thing. The less weight you have to lose, the more protein that you are going to need. So if you have a lot of weight to lose, then I generally recommend anywhere from 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So now that we have covered all of the nutritional aspects of this, we can go ahead and talk about what entails a real strength training program. Firstly, I want to say that most people's solutions that come to mind is cardio, and nope, this is not the answer. Now, don't get me wrong, cardio is an excellent way to improve your heart health, increase your daily calorie expenditure, and improve your recovery between strength training sessions. However, doing it for hours and hours on end every single day and combining that with eating 1,000 calories is not the answer to losing belly fat. Again, this is great for creating a calorie deficit to just lose fat, but it doesn't include the other important piece of the puzzle, which is, again, building muscle. Starving yourself and doing hours of cardio on end is not a good way to get the tone and definition that you want. This is where your training plan is going to play a key role in successfully helping you lose that belly fat. And I do want to be clear, this is going to be specifically a well-rounded strength training program, not just random YouTube HIIT or ab workouts. Side note, not that these things are necessarily bad. They do certainly help a lot of people get moving and get going in the right direction, but they aren't necessarily good for building muscle. So what does entail a well-rounded strength training routine? Here's a hint, it's not doing endless reps of ab exercises. Now, I could go on for days and days about how to actually design a good workout routine, but, oh wait, I actually did. It's in the link in the description below, an article on my website that's free that teaches you everything you need to know about designing your own workout program. But a few key things that your strength training routine should have from a high-level bird's eye view: it should have good movements that train every major muscle group in the body. You should be training hard enough to actually stimulate muscle building, and you should be incorporating progressive overload to ensure that you are increasingly challenging your body over time. And I'm going to be completely honest with you here. If your program doesn't have these 3 things, you're not going to see much progress in terms of losing belly fat and getting the muscle tone and definition that you're after, which honestly a lot of these HIIT and ab workouts that you find online doesn't have. Again, you don't need to completely ditch these workouts or cardio, but don't make that your primary focus when your goal is to lose belly fat and get toned and defined. And that about covers everything that I wanted to cover. But before I let you go, I do want to give you the exact blueprint because I know that was a lot of information. This is the exact blueprint that every single one of my clients follows to lose belly fat and to get a toned and defined physique. They all follow a proper, well-rounded, and intelligently designed strength training program that has them working out 3 to 4 times a week with an emphasis on training hard and progressively overloading. They also aren't completely ditching the cardio, but that isn't their primary focus as well. For their cardio, they just simply focus on walking precisely 5 to 10,000 steps a day. In addition, they absolutely crush the nutrition plan by eating an appropriate number of calories and not starving themselves. And they also eat adequate protein to help them build lean muscle. Seriously, that's it. Detach from the scale, strength train 3 to 4 times a week, get strong as fuck, eat enough so that you can get all of these things above, and walk. And before I let you go, yes, I get it. It doesn't sound as sexy as do these ab workouts and get results in 14 days, or just simply rub this sweaty cream on your body, or just drink this nasty detox poopy fruit water. What I have told you to exactly do in this video will require hard work, consistency, and patience. But I can guarantee you that it will work. Because truthfully, I'm not here to rip you off for all of your money. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here and be recording this video for you with the exact blueprint I use for clients completely free. I just want to best help you by giving you time-tested and guaranteed methods to get the results that you want. But that about wraps it up for this video. thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch through this video in its entirety. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe for more, and I will catch you in the next one.